Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Royals is Steve Busby, whose record is 4-4 with a 5.42 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Jack Morris, whose record is 4-2 with a 4.59 ERA. And so with our win yesterday, it gives us a chance here to take 2 out of the 4 games against the Royals. Yesterday's game was crazy. There was 10 total runs scored in the second inning, and then another 5 scored in the third. And at any point, this game could have got completely out of hand, but we had pretty good bullpen help. We managed to hang on to the lead late, and we got the win. And so we'll take it. Mark Wagner had 4 RBIs in yesterday's game from the number 9 hole. So pretty decent game as far as entertainment goes, and it's always good to get a win. So we shall see how we do today as we wrap up the series. And then the Orioles come to town. So the Orioles in second place. So that should be an interesting series to look forward to. Jack Morris, as I mentioned, on the hill today. And our bullpen, Pat Underwood and Joe Beckwith will not be available today. Also, Dave Rucker was listed as tired, so I sent him down to the minors and brought back Keith Comstock so that we weren't shorthanded by 3 starting pitchers today. 3 bullpen pitchers today. And then we're facing Steve Busby, a right-hander, so we have our lineup in there against right-handers. Trammell and Ricky Henderson both had the day off yesterday. And so today we have them back in the lineup, and all of our everyday players are in there. So hopefully we can put up some big runs on Busby, who is the ace of the Royals staff. So let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Royals. Batting leadoff and in right field is Bob Deathridge. Batting second in center field is Willie Wilson. Batting third at third base is George Brett. Batting cleanup in left field is Clint Hurdle. Batting fifth and DHing is Willie Aikens. Batting sixth and catching is Don Swart. Batting seventh and at first base is Pete Lecoq. Batting eighth and at shortstop is Rance Mullenix. And batting ninth at second base is George Orta. And here's Jack Morris. He's kind of been all over the place lately. Taking a look here at the game log. He went 7 2/3 innings at his last start, giving up 2 runs, but both runs were unearned. 4 walks and 4 Ks. He did get the win. In the 2 games previous to that, he was terrible, but did not factor in the decision. So hopefully today we can get some pretty decent numbers out of him, and we don't have to worry about the bullpen then. So here is the defensive lineup for the Tigers. And Bob Deathridge leading off, maybe the worst picture of any of the photos we've seen so far. And Deathridge hits a ground ball to Thompson, and there is the first out. So that's the first time this series that a Royal did not start the game off by walking. 1 down, here's Willie Wilson. And on the inside pitch, Wilson hits a ground ball to second, and Whitaker makes the play. That's 2 down. And George Brett gets a base hit to right. So runner on first, Clint Hurdle, who's been batting leadoff, but with, it looks like the first baseman is out today. So Hurdle, they moved him down into the lineup to the cleanup position, and Hurdle walks. So runners at first and second, and here's heavy hitter Willie Aikens, batting .304 versus righties, and a base hit to right. So all of this is with 2 outs. And the Royals take an early 1-0 lead. So first and second now. Don Slott up next. Ground ball to third. And Hatcher makes the play. So 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom half of the first. Let's do the Tigers lineup rundown. Batting leadoff and in center field is Ricky Henderson. Batting second at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting fifth and DHing is Reggie Jackson. Batting sixth and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting seventh and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting eighth at third base is Mickey Hatcher. And batting ninth at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. And on the mound for the Royals is Steve Busby. As I mentioned, he is technically their ace with Dennis Leonard being injured for another month. Busby's 4-4 with that 5.42 ERA, 22 walks and 42 strikeouts. Opponents are betting .293 against him, and I think he struck out 10 against Detroit. Nope, I'm way off. He only had 2 Ks the first time we faced him way back in April. And I think I mentioned in that game that Busby was technically out of baseball by 1981. So as you take a look here at the Royals' defensive alignment, and Ricky Henderson leading off. So yeah, he's already past his career finish, as Henderson, after having the day off, hits a ground ball to short. There's 1 down. Next up is Trammell. Tram pops it up to short. That's the second out. Gibby's up next. He's 5 for 7 with a strikeout against Steve Busby. And there we go, base hit into left center field, all the way to the wall, and Gibby has himself a double. Runner in scoring position then for JT, and a base hit to left. Gibby score? Yes, he does. It's all tied up at 1. So the RBI single by Thompson has him at first, with Reggie up next. And Reggie hits a ground ball to second, and that'll end the bottom half of the first. We go to the top of the second, tied at 1. This is kind of what happened in yesterday's game, although the Royals scored 5 in the second, and then we came back and scored 5 in the bottom half of the inning. And then we just kept trading runs after that. Here is Pete Lecoq. We've seen him once earlier this series. Whoa, he gets a base hit to right. That somehow just fell in there. Looked like a line out for sure. So the Royals put the leadoff runner on. Rance Mullenix up next. He had the day off yesterday, as Dave Chalk was at shortstop. Mullenix pops out into foul ground on the first base side, 1 down. George Orta up next, batting .364 versus righties, and he strikes out looking. That's the first K for Morris. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Deathridge. Deathridge goes the opposite way on a line, caught by Hancock. And that'll do it for the top half of the second. We head to the bottom half of the inning. Here is Lance Parrish leading off against Busby. Parrish hits a ground ball to second base. There's 1 out. Next up is Gary Hancock. He has a home run against Busby in his career, and there he gets a base hit into center. So Hancock's on first base for Mickey Hatcher. Hatcher had 2 hits yesterday, including a double. Oh, he hits a ground ball to first. And that'll do it as they turn 2. We go to the top of the 3rd. All tied at 1. Here's Willie Wilson leading off the inning. Line drive right back at Morris. And Morris makes the play. 1 down. George Brett up next. He has one of the Royals' 3 hits. And he hits a fly ball to right. Caught by Hancock. 2 down. Clint Hurdle walked his first time through the lineup. And he pops out to Whitaker. So 1-2-3 inning for Morris. Head to the bottom of the 3rd. Sweet Lou leading off, batting 9th. He's 1 for 12 with 3 Ks against Busby. That's strange. Oh, he strikes out. So Busby has Sweet Lou's number. 1 down for Ricky. There's a base hit for Ricky. So Henderson's on first. Don Slott, what is he? He's got a pretty strong arm. And what is his caught stealing percentage? It's actually 29, which is lower than Parrish's. So let's hit and run. Trammell's 0 for 9 against Busby. So let's put the ball in play. See if we can make something happen. Trammell grounds out to first, moving Henderson into scoring position. That'll bring up Gibby. Runner on second, and he drops it down the left field line. Go-ahead run scores. Yeah, we're going to go for 2. Oh, yes, and Gibby is safe with a double. So an RBI double, and it's 2-1. Next up is Thompson. He had the RBI single in the first inning. Thompson grounds out to second. And that'll do it. So we take the lead. Heading into the top of the 4th. Willie Aikens leading off. Batting .310 versus righties, 292 overall. And Aikens flies out to right. 1 down. Here's catcher Don Slott, and Slott hits a high fly ball into right center field. Back-to-back plays by Hancock. And here is Pete Lecoq filling in for Ken Phelps at first. And Morris walks Lecoq. That's the second walk of the day. We're going to guard the lines against Rance Mullenix. Mullenix hits a ground ball to short, and there we go. There's the 3rd out. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Reggie Jackson leading off the inning. Ground ball right to short. There's 1 down. Lance Parrish up next. Oh, he gets drilled right in the knee. So Parrish is hit by a pitch and is standing on first. Here's Gary Hancock. Ground ball to short. And a double play. That's the second double play for the Royals today. We go to the 5th. George Orta leading off. And Morris strikes out Orta for his 2nd K. Back to the top of the lineup with Bob Deathridge. And Morris strikes out Deathridge. So back-to-back Ks. It's going to bring up Willie Wilson. Ground ball right back to Morris. And Morris tosses him out. So a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. We go to the bottom half. It's 2-1 Detroit. Mickey Hatcher pulls it to left. Base hit as it drops in. And a chance for a double, but we're going to say no. And we're going to have Sweet Lou try to lay down a bunt. He's 1 for 13 with 4 strikeouts. So let's do something here. Whitaker lays it down to first, and Hatcher is safe at second. So sacrifice bunt. catcher's into scoring position. Ricky Henderson up next. Ground ball to second. And Orta makes the play. 2 down now for Trammell, looking for his first hit against Busby. And I believe Trammell has a 9-game hitting streak as he grounds out to second. We can double check that next time through the lineup. We go to the top of the 6th. George Brett leading off. We're going to flip it over to the in-game stats, actually. As we see, George Brett's 1 for 2. Gibby 2 for 2 with an RBI. Probably player of the game so far. And Brett gets a base hit to right. So Brett's on first for Hurdle. Hurdle 0 for 1 with a walk. And Hurdle pops it up. Looks like Whitaker has it on the outfield grass. There's 1 down. Next up is Willie Aikens. Aikens 1 for 2 with an RBI today. Oh, that's gone. I had a feeling something like that was coming as Willie Aikens gets a home run, 2 RBIs. That is only his 3rd home run on the season after hitting 23 last year. So that is a pretty low total so far, as we are kind of coming up on the halfway point of this season. This is game 51, so game 55 is halfway for our 110-game season, as Don Slaught pops up and then Pete Lecoq strikes out. So the Royals put 2 on the board on the home run by Aikens. It's 3-2 Royals. Steve Busby, only at 54 pitches, hasn't walked anybody yet, as he walks Gibby right after I say that. So let's get a hit and run going here with JT. Ground ball to third, and Gibson advances. So we need Reggie to come through. Reggie's only batting 154 so far versus righties in the short time he's been with us. And he strikes out swinging. Just the second K for Busby. He's going to leave it up to Parrish. There we go. Base hit to right. Gibby should score. He does, and it's all tied at 3. So good job by Parrish. RBI single. And that's going to leave it up to Gary Hancock. He just drilled it into deep right field, 386 feet. And that ball was crushed. So a 2-run shot for Hancock. I think that's only his 5th. It is only his 5th. He had 21 last year between Boston and the Tigers. So it seems like a lot of the players who we expect more from have kind of let us down. And I don't know if that's because the season is only 110 games and maybe the game's algorithm is only calculating out so many certain amount of extra base hits or RBIs or runs scored by the team. I don't know how it works, but the Tigers do have a 5-3 lead now here in the 7th. Morris is at 90 pitches. He can go 120 before he finally gets tired. And I'd like to have him just get through the 7th as Mullenix flies out to right. I also want to mention here as George Orta comes up that I'm thinking that maybe not this Sunday, this Memorial Weekend Sunday. Oh no, George Orta just drilled it to center and it's gone. Whoa, George Orta, does he have any power at all? That's his 8th home run. Holy cow, that's crazy. Before Orta rudely interrupted me there. It's 5-4. I was going to say, not this Sunday, which is Memorial Weekend Sunday, but the following Sunday after that, I think I'm going to do a live game where on YouTube we'll do a live event, and then anyone who wants to tune in live can chat with me, and you can tell me how terrible I am for not taking Morris out here. As Deathridge has pretty decent speed. Oh, no. Come on. That is bullshit. So now Wilson's on third with a RBI triple. There's only one down. And now we have all these lefties. And, I mean, that run is probably going to score one way or another. But I would feel better if we brought in a lefty. And this is Keith Comstock, who we brought back up because of Rucker being tired. We needed another arm in the bullpen. We're going to bring him in. And he has not been reliable. He gave up 4 runs. He didn't get anybody out, and then he gave up another run before we sent him back down. So we're going to bring him in here, though, as Underwood is not available. And Cappy, we're going to have to hold on to as a closer if we can get that far. So bringing the infield in against Brett, only batting 200. 1 for 6 with 3 Ks against Comstock. And a ground ball, whoa, right at Thompson. And Thompson goes home to get Wilson. And we'll take it. There's 2 down for Clint Hurdle, who's only batting 163 versus lefties. And he hits a high fly ball to the left. That should be the 3rd out. So that couldn't have gone any worse for the Tigers, as the Royals tied it up at 5. Morris is out of the game. He will not factor in the decision. Steve Busby's still in there, though, as Sweet Lou steps in here. And there's a base hit for Whitaker against Busby. So a base hit for Sweet Lou. Okay, I don't think we're going to get a double play here. We're going to let Henderson swing away. Oh, no. I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, there was a lot of speed on the base pass. So now we need Henderson to steal second. Everybody in the park knows it's going to happen. They pitched out, and he is caught. And then Trammell pops it up. So, I mean, what are you going to do? That's why we have him. I mean, Henderson, he had 4 player of the game, 4 players of the game in the first 10 games that he played, and he hasn't had one since. So I think it's fair to say he's been a disappointment. And he's definitely not lived up to what we'd hope for out of someone who has that kind of reputation for speed. Comstock walks the only righty, Don Slaught, and now Comstock has a bunch of lefties here. Pete Lecoq steps in, and Comstock gets Mr. Lecoq to pop it up to second base. Rance Mullenix only batting 100 versus lefties. He definitely is platooned. That's why Dave Chalk was in there against Bruce Robbins yesterday. And Mullenix grounds out for the 3rd out. So good job by Comstock, coming right up from AAA and producing. So Gibby leading off the bottom of the 8th with a base hit. And we gotta try to steal second base with JT. It's definitely a possibility for a double play. And then on a 76-mile-an-hour curveball, Gibby's thrown out at second base. So stupid. And then Thompson grounds out. And Reggie grounds out to 3rd. So we go to the 9th. I guess we have to let Comstock at least pitch to Orta. Orta batting 108 versus lefties. And he bloops it in for a hit. Of course. Comstock did bring his ERA down. We're going to bring in Weaver. Try to get Deathridge. There's only an 091 hitter. I'll take a look at Weaver real quick here. Well, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had 5 good outings in a row. He has given up a couple runs, only 1 earned in his last few appearances, so not too shabby, really. We need a double play here, though. Ground ball to Shaw. Come on. That was a tailor-made double play. You're telling me that Trammell couldn't have made that play. And now this game is done. We're going to pull the outfield in case Wilson tries to drop it in there. There's a walk. Nope, it's even worse. Yeah, there was really nothing we could do about that, right? So here's George Brett as we bring in Cappy. The damage has already been done, so seriously, a ground ball to Trammell and Wilson takes third. That would never happen, even with Willie Wilson. Pulling the infield. Ground ball. There's the second out, and here's Willie Aikens. On a 3-0 count. Fly ball into center field, and that'll do it. So we go to the bottom of the ninth. They're going to bring in the closer, Quisenberry, who we touched up pretty good on the, was that the first game of the series? I don't know if it was first or second, but he got the save even though he went 1 1/3, giving up 2 runs and 3 hits. So it's not like we can't do some damage to Quisenberry. Parrish is going to have to start us off, though. Nope, ground ball to first. There's 1 down. Hancock hits a line drive. And Hatcher hits it right back to Quisenberry. So, yeah, that was total bullshit. They scored 6 runs in the last 4 innings. And the Tigers lose 7-5. We lost 3 out of 4 to the worst team in the American League at home. And we fall below 500 once again as the Orioles come to town. And yeah, that's going to be tough to come back from this. I guess Kansas City's not the worst anymore, but they sure were when we faced them at the beginning of this series. So we're still only 6.5 back. I mean, I feel like the game is just taunting us. As now Boston has lost 3 in a row, and Baltimore's fighting back with winning 4 in a row. So I don't know how or why things play out this way. Oakland right in the middle of the division. Let's take a look at the transactions. Jim Palmer got his career 250th win, and then some injuries there. A couple from Seattle, Tom Paciorek and Mark Langston. And then a Texas pitcher, Brian Allard, is going to miss a little bit of time there. So I'll pull up the box score and we'll get out of here. That sucked. Thanks for watching, though. As always, like and subscribe. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch. Player of the game, who are we going to give it to? I guess we're going to give it to Gibby, 3 for 3, with 2 runs, an RBI, and that walk. He was caught stealing. Oh, he had 2 doubles as well. So pretty good. Tigers only left 3 runners on base, but that wasn't good enough to get the job done. Keith Comstock actually going to take the loss. That's totally unfair. Weaver was just pathetic. But really not his fault. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, one of those were just, it was a little bloop hit, and then the other one was crushed, and that was just how it was meant to be. So that's it here from Tiger Stadium. We'll be back tomorrow with the first game against the Baltimore Orioles. Until then, everyone, have a great night.